So just before starting, I think that we need to say a big thank you to whoever took place in, making this event reality, to the staff, to volunteers, and actually to everyone who is, sitting here today. Otherwise, it will be just an empty space, right? So what's very special is for everyone to be here, and what makes this presentation special is your presence. So a big applause by me. So, what I would like to do today is, first of all, try to explain what Agile Actor does, and particularly then jump into the Gen AI era to see what we're doing in this space. I always kind of start with, with the name of Agile Actors, what actually it stands for. We always happen to be in events, and we do chit-chats regarding the name. And I mean, when it comes to, to Agile, people think that we are, we're ambassadors of the Agile framework. Could be, but that's not the case. I mean, Agile comes from inspect and adapt, right? This has been the idea. And when it comes to, to actors, it's about how we act for business, right? Even though there's a funny story. When I did join Agile Actors 10 years ago in 2015, I mean, obviously it was a much more, smaller company back then, something like 20 professionals. Now it's more than 300. And we were in a small flat in the Marousi area, and I was going down the stairs, and there was someone that was actually asking me, where do we act, as actors, which theater, right? And it was very funny because I was trying to explain that, actors is not really for acting, for the theaters, but essentially, the story, right? That's why you're laughing, that story, yeah. And but at the end of the day, I think that, we all deserve an Oscar when deadlines approach, right? Because we do our best. And this is always the case. Now, a bit about our identity. What is Agile Actors? I mean, Agile Actors is essentially, three very interesting pillars. One pillar on the left, you can see here, is coaching. And by coaching, I mean, we're a coaching organization, right? So it's individual, it's professional Agile Actors. They have their own coach, and they have their own coaches. And when I mean coach, not a professional coach, but someone who is on technology, someone, technologist on that particular space who can actually support, the professional, the coachee in their day-to-day activities and their personal development plan on things that they know and don't know, right? And this unknown is very important. Training, lots of trainings. I'm going to describe a bit what we do on Gen AI, but I was counting this year, we have done 50 sessions. 50 internal sessions within Agile Actors across all different technologies and concepts. And without the last one, which is our, the main business model, which is team augmentation, we provide professionals who are coached, trained, right, and they want to grow themselves in the customer portfolio that we have, a large customer portfolio. So it's not just services, right? It's an ecosystem for it and everyone's career growth. Now, this is the vision. This has always been the vision. And the vision is that we want to become the place that everyone wants to grow. And, by being here, I'm going to go back a bit, right? By having the two parts on the left and change, the ladder, the third one, you can stay in Agile Actors, change customers, change technology, change whatever you want, right? But retain, and retain your identity, be an Agile Actors, and grow within our environment, with real conditions, of course. Our philosophy, and I don't know if Dimitris Andreadis is here, and he mentioned something very important, right? That someone tried to build an MCP client, if I'm not mistaken, and since there were users and not really understood the technology, they had to redo it again, right? So our philosophy is exactly this. We don't want to create users of technology, but we want to craft professionals that they understand technology, right? And they know how to use it. And as far as I understand, with Gen AI now, this becomes even more important. The world evolves a lot, right? And when I say world evolves, when I started, 16 years ago to be in the software industry, we had different tools. I mean, we didn't even have segmentation across different, skill sets, front, back end, DevOps. We did actually everything, right? But as time did go pass by, we had to inspect, adapt, and change, how we do stuff. And then Gen AI and things, people believe that, is the future. But it's not the future. It's here now. I mean, it's happening, right? And we need to do something about it. The reality, of Gen AI and the current state, for companies, I mean, we've seen adoption of companies being very low. If I remember correctly, it's something like 10%. And the adoption of engineers or professionals, in the technology is more than 70%, right? So companies want to adopt it fast. Some companies understand it. Some others know. They do mistakes. They go back. Professionals, they're using it daily, right? And sometimes without really admitting it, right? And there is also, seems to be some resistance. On this part, on admitting it, it reminds me a bit of, back in the days, I knew some people that they were using, software which was not approved, by their company, right? There were some famous key generators, some other crack tools. Anyway, it seems to be something like this now, right? I mean, companies are trying to create, some kind of policies. They are afraid a bit of security. They don't know what to do with their data. But professionals want to use, all these tools and build use cases at the end of the day. And we are in the middle, right? Trying to do our job. So the reality is that now, at this point in time, technology runs very fast, right? And it's faster than policies, faster than culture. And in general, it's becoming, our role is becoming even more important. Now, what we're doing, how we're training, for the future. This is decomposing GenAI to its parts. It's a program of training that we have started back in 2024 about preparing everyone about what's going to happen, okay? As you can see here, it started 18 months ago. We've done, 70 sessions, and more than 200 engineers have been trained on this stuff, and there are more to come. What we're trying to do here, I'm not going to go in each and every detail here. We're looking on the fundamentals, how the technology actually works, what are the technical skills, the new technical skills that everyone needs to acquire, and in order to get into that state, and then real use cases. We have AI engineers at this point working on real projects, and our ability to take this knowledge back and share it across, the community of Agile Actors is very precious. And this is the dual track approach that we have, okay? So yes, we're building today. We have real customers building real AI use cases, okay? All this stuff. And at the very same time, we are preparing for tomorrow because there is another, a lot of people, amount of people in organization who are not working on these real use cases, but they're preparing themselves to get into this. And I'm sure that for everyone who is working now on the technology industry, I'm sure that you can see that everyone wants to understand what are these use cases that we need to implement because AI is very important. These are some titles that we have in form of sessions, trainings that we've done, internal sessions even on people in culture team, model architecture, AI in business. It doesn't really matter. You can see that we're doing lots of stuff, RAG architectures, vector databases, because we want to, for people to understand, for professionals to understand how it works under the hood. Without this, you can't really build on top. This is the power, right? This is the power of Agile Actors. We do a lot of stuff to train ourselves first and, have something like a safe-to-fail scenario. We experiment, we learn, and then we share openly. On sharing openly, I remember more than 2 cases that, people that left Agile Actors and they wanted to continue their career somewhere else. When we did meet in an event like this, they told me that all these sessions that we're doing, and because we record everything, and this is something that everyone can go back and see, they did download them, right? And they took them together, because this is pure knowledge. Is it wrong or bad? Doesn't really matter, right? What matters a lot that there is so much knowledge, and we want to share it very openly. So what's the key to success, right? The key to success, what it takes to, to create and craft professionals. Is it the tools? Is it training? Is it the company itself? If we take a name, if we take Agile Actors as an instance, right, and we remove the people from the equation, right, and we keep the tools, and we keep the trainings, okay, is it what creates professionals? I don't think so. What creates professionals is the values, is the habits. We need to change our habits, and the continuous challenge of the status quo. This is, what crafts professionals. So essentially, your success, your team success, your organization success, it's across, right? It's with you. It's your curiosity, your drive, and essentially what you want to do, as an individual, to make yourself a better version, okay? This is what we are, and I'm right about on time, but I have something else, I think. So we want to inspect, we want to adapt, And we know we want to grow, right? And we want to do it all together. Oh, sorry guys, I just forgot to do this, but I don't care, to be honest, because it's going to be very easy for me to fix it. Just give me a sec. Slide out your name. Now we have Gen AI that makes things easier, right? Alexis A.Panousis, role Java chapter lead. And add a, sorry, oops. Stop, please. QR code with my LinkedIn. Let's see what's going to happen. So yeah, I kind of forgot to, to add the last slide because I didn't say my name or what I do. But yeah, I think that's going to be very easy to do. So let's see what's happening. Let's see. Okay, I think it finished, right? Let me refresh. Okay, yeah. Apologies for this. It wasn't done intentionally. Thank you very much for your time and enjoy.